Welcome to Tangermouse Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. Today we're looking at Village Pillage by Jellybean Games. Village Pillage is a 2 to 5 player game that plays in about 20 minutes, has some hand management and some simultaneous action selection mechanics. You are a village and you're trying to become a kingdom, and you do that by being the first to collect 3 relics. Let's look at the prototype components and see what this game's all about. You have a deck of cards, you have the relics here to my left, and you have some turnips. Every player will start with a start hand of 4 cards: a trader, a wall, a farmer, and an army. And they also start with a vault. On the back side, it's for 2 players. We're going to be playing with more than 2 players for this preview video. And to place that in front of you at the beginning of the game, players begin with 1 turnip in their vault and 1 turnip outside their vault. They also reveal 4 cards from the market deck here. We'll do that. And then a player decides which 2 cards they would like to play. One goes to their right and another to their left. So we're going to try and steal 4 turnips from the player to my left here, and we'll place it face down secretly. And we'll farm and try and gain 3 turnips on this side. So do that, and then the other players would also play a card to their left and right as well. And then the other 2 cards we're just going to place face down. They're not going to be used. They're not active at this point. And then all players reveal simultaneously their cards. Now the cards get resolved in a specific order: green, blue, red, then yellow. So we'll go over here to the green, and we know this card will activate because only if the other player played a green, red, blue, or yellow card. And of course, there are only 4 colors in the game, so I knew this card would activate. So we gain 3 turnips from the supply. Gain is always from the supply, and then steal is always coming from the opponent. So we're going to try and steal from this opponent, but this player played a wall. So my card only activates if the other player to my left here had played a green card or a yellow card. He didn't. He played a blue card. So because I played the red card, he can steal 1 from me and bank 1. Now banking is where the vault comes in. So he would steal 1 and I would give it to him, and he could of course then, if he just stole 1, that he could then bank 1 in his vault. Those help protect your turnips, because the aim of the game is to get 3 relics, and on your card it shows you what 3 relics. You need a scepter, a crown, and a throne. You can buy the first relic, a scepter, for 8 turnips. Then on another turn you could buy the crown for 9, and another turn you could buy the throne for 10. So they get a little more expensive. And if you have the right amount of turnips on when you play a trader card, you can actually see here that it says buy a relic. But if you're unable to buy a relic, then you can buy a card from the market, and you can do that for 1 turnip. You can use your vault turnip, or you can spend a turnip from your supply. Now each of these cards have different powers, just like your initial cards do, but these are even better. So they give you a little bit more stuff, like the dungeon or the bard's another way to trade, but instead of, if you're unable, you get to gain a turnip and take the top card of the deck. The florist lets you gain 5 turnips, but your opponent steals 2 if they play a red card. If they play any other card, you get 5 turnips from the supply. Or there's other kinds of steal cards, like this one, steal 4 if they play a green and yellow and bank 1 of them, or if they play a red card against you, you steal one of their turnips. So the game continues to, and you round after round after round, you get all your cards back into your hand, and say later in the game I played a trader to get one of these cards, the automatically refills. So I'm going to be getting more cards into my hand, and I can then play these cards against my opponents to try and get the turnips to get relics in order to win the game. And the first person to get three, the scepter, the throne, and the crown and the throne, wins. Now, because it's simultaneous, multiple players could win, and then it goes to tiebreakers. I think it's the person who has the most turnips at that point. So that is a quick rundown of how to play Village Pillage. So Village Pillage plays pretty fast, and I like that for a nice quick filler game, and it really doesn't matter if it's the lower player count or the higher player count because of that simultaneous action selection. It could go a little bit longer with higher players because of the market phase. You're buying those cards, so depending on the players, making sure they get the cards that they want, it could go a little bit longer, but not that much longer. I'm talking about the cards. You do need to pick the cards that will help you throughout the game. That is paramount to winning the game, is getting the right cards. There are some pretty powerful cards in the game, in the market, because you only start with the 4 start cards. But finding that right card or cards that are going to help you throughout the game is key to winning the game. And another thing about the game is you can only really affect the player to your left and the player to your right. The players on the other side of the table, if you're playing more than 3 players, you can't really do anything other than talk to your opponents and say, hey, look at that guy, especially if other players across the table are getting 1, 2 relics, and they're getting close to winning. You need to be aware of that as you play the game, so that you can tell the other players, hey, watch out for that guy. And of course, trying in your own way to get those relics to win the game for yourself. Now, this is a prototype, but I wanted to show this. It looks like finished artwork. They're still working on the artwork for some of the cards, so you can see the difference, as this one's colored in and this one's not. And some of the cards don't even have a picture on them. But the different names are fun: the miner, the doctor, the rat catcher, the veteran. So you can definitely see the artwork is got that fun village theme to it. There's the pickler, and each of these cards are really powerful and fun. So you can see the cathedral, you're stealing 3, banking 1 if they try to attack you. And you could then, even if they play a green, blue, or yellow card, buy a card for a turnip. So even without playing one of those trader cards, you could get more cards into your hand. So different ways of getting cards into your hand, different way of getting turnips. So there's a look at some of the art for Village Pillage, and I even like the backs of the cards. So I think Jellybean Games did a great job making a streamlined game. Plays quickly. It's easy to understand, easy to learn and to play, and even easy to teach, which I appreciate because I teach a lot of games. It's easy to just say, hey, you're going to pick cards from your hand, and you're going to play 1 to your left and 1 to your right, and you're going to see what happens depending on what the other players play. You do have to be okay with that stealing aspect. This game may not be for everyone. It's not for everyone. I probably like this game more than Melissa does, but that's okay. Not every game is for everyone. You can try to steal from your opponents, and of course your opponents can try and steal those turnips from you. So if that sounds interesting to you, if you like this simultaneous action selection mechanic, you like the idea of building your village to become a kingdom, then check out Village Pillage from Jellybean Games, coming to Kickstarter soon. It has some hand management games. Jellybean Games, coming to Kickstarter.